So thanks for joining us on today's episode of Techbridge, and of course we always say that this is the only show that connects you to the future. We talk about connection, we talk about everything that you need to have, leveraging on modern technology, and of course when you talk about technology, it is simply a way of making sure that you do things faster, better, and more appropriately. So we talk about technology today, and of course just like every other episode that we host, I'm Seyifunmi Olatide. And on this show today, we're talking about a war that everybody needs to fight. It is a war that is probably brought to us because of, should I call it advancement in technology, or let me say new developments around the world of technology. I'm talking about the cyber war. And you agree with me that it affects you and I. Everyone is involved, and we need to fight this war to a standstill. So let's see how we can fight it. Probably let's identify the areas, the key areas that we have those wars. Let's call them war zones. And of course, let's see how we can tackle those war zones one after the other. That is what we are doing today. So I go for this quick break. Please stay with us. It's still Techbridge on Lagos Television. Thanks for staying with us. It is still Techbridge on Lagos Television, and before that quick break, I told you that we'll be talking about how to win this cyber war. That, should I say, everyone is involved? Yes, it affects every one of us. As long as you use one technology device or the other, you are part of this war. Either you are a victim or you are one of the people fighting it at the other hand. So, and I just want to say that we should be at the side of fighting the war to a standstill. You realize that recently there was a list published by the Federal Bureau of Investigation in the United States talking about a lot of people that are involved in fraudulent activities, and the larger part of that number is actually Nigerians. And you begin to wonder where that leaves us. Well, as much as we want to dwell on that, there is a bigger picture we're looking at, and that is the fact that this situation is brought about because of technology. This so-called bad guys are leveraging on the internet connection and probably the greed and the ignorance of some other people. So let's see how we can prevent ourselves, we can protect ourselves from all these things so that we don't become a victim of that. So in the first place, you realize that beyond the name, the bad image it gives to the country, it is also something that dwells on the reputation of every young people in Nigeria, because we realize that most of the people involved in that cyber crime are young people, and they have done a lot damage, let me put it that way, to the image of the country. So let's see that you have also been part of that, and I've also been part of that. I'm going to share some experience here, but before I share my own experience, I spoke with some couple of people. So let's make their insights now, then I'll still be here. It's still Techbridge on Lagos Television.
Yeah, I experienced it once. That was last year. I was called and they asked me to send my my PVNY, my last 4 digits on my ATM card. So I was like, what happened? They said I'm having issue with my bank account. So I told them that, well, if I should have any issue with my bank, I'll go straight to my bank and I'll rectify whatever is going on my bank. So they called the phone.
They called me. First of all, they texted me. They texted me saying that I should send a particular number to a particular number. That is a PIN of my ATM, that it has been blocked. So I have to call the number on the text. So when I call them, I already know their trick. So I just want to play along, So they were demanding for my last 4 digits of my PIN. So of my ATM, sorry. So I already know what their plan was. So I just sent a wrong PIN altogether to them. So they called me back, and I was even trying to play them, so I just want to burn their credit, so I should be on the safer side, just to let them know that what they are doing, that someone else has already gotten to that stage, So at a point they knew that this guy is not serious, so they just have to cut and let me go.
So there you have those experiences, and I'm sure that if we talk to more people, there'll be more and more experiences they're going to share. And one of the things that we can pick from that is the fact that people are not so knowledgeable about where calls are coming from. That is talking about calls, really. You receive those calls and you begin to wonder, probably text messages. And remember that these text messages emanate from people that are supposedly having some kind of information about you. Either you've given them voluntarily or they stole it from somewhere. And that is still coming to the fact that everyone needs to begin to take responsibility of his or her information. I've got some couple of examples here, at least I think about 5 of them, and I'm going to read out those phone numbers to you. For instance, there was this one I'm going to read out to you that the text message came to me from, should I put it, it is supposed to be a bank, really, but I don't have any account with that bank in the first place. And secondly, the phone number that the message was sent to was never registered with any bank. So you can see how fraudulent that can be. Let me pick some of those examples, and of course I'll give you the phone numbers so that when you have any message from such phone numbers, you begin to realize that this is fraud. All right, so the first one I have here is very funny, really. Like I said, it was sent to a phone number that was never registered with any bank account through the BVN. And secondly, it's coming from a bank that I don't have any account with in the first place. So you can see how fraudulent these people can be. So this one says, hello, sir or ma. That means the person is not actually sure of who he or she is sending the message to. Sorry for the temporary disable of your bank ATM card. That is grammatical blunder there. It's due to system maintenance. And it says I should call 0903 274 2031. I'm calling out those phone numbers because I expect that these phone numbers should be tracked by security agencies, and because people have names to these phone numbers. The Nigeria we have today has every phone number registered to a particular name and address, a particular person. So I think it should be easy to trace, really. And the person sent the message twice. As if that was not enough, there was another one that was sent also. It says that, alert, dear customer, your ATM and account has been blocked due to BVN system upgrade. Imagine that, upgrading BVN. It says call us on this number. I'm going to call that number as well so that you know that that number or whoever owns that number is fraudulent as far as we can tell on this show. That is 0810-826-0996. It says I should call that number to unblock within 24 hours. Now, these are just few examples of what happens to people. People have more horrible stories to share when it comes to this. Some people actually follow through. But in all of this, you begin to see that where is the role of the police, or let me say the security agencies in all of this? So eventually we spoke to the police spokesperson for Lagos State Police Command, and he has his thoughts on all of this. So let's just pick that instance right away, and I'll still be here. It's still Techbridge on Lagos Television.
People go online without knowing that there are a lot of things that could happen online. And part of those things are people who will hack into your accounts and steal vital information. And people also never know that there are information that you don't also need to supply online. Vital information are things you should keep away, even when you are feeling updating some of those social media platforms. There are information you don't put there because some of those criminal elements go to your social media handles to look at information you supply. They look at your date of birth because these are things that are in your BVN. They look at vital information about you that you have supplied freely in the name of opening an account, social media account, and they pick them. And they use those things against you. So sometimes when they call you, they give you a lot of information about yourself without you knowing how they get it. So you'll be thinking that this must be somebody from the bank because he has so much information about me. That is one. Then you also find people doing a lot of update online. We have got a lot of criminals arrested and they will tell you, we'll ask them, how did you know that this person is not at home? He will tell you through his Facebook account. I've seen pictures he has posted that he's on holiday with his family in Dubai. So we know that the house is empty, so we can enter the house freely and pack whatever we want to pack because he told us that he's in Dubai with his family. Then we have had cases of kidnapping. The suspect will tell you that we got information about the target on this Facebook account. He posted his son in his school uniform. celebrating his son, and we're able to now trace the son to his school and pick him there. So people end up supplying free information to criminal elements who are there, sitting down, searching online to see who will be their cheap or soft target that they are going to pick. So we have to be careful how we supply information. We have to be careful what we put online. When someone calls you, asking you for vital information through the phone, don't supply anything. Don't even believe him if you say he's from the bank. Tell him thank you for the information, drop and go to the bank yourself. There are branches of virtually every bank all over. Walk to your branch and meet the customer care officer and talk to him on it. Don't supply any information because that is what they need. Some will tell you even your ATM information, your password, everything. As soon as you supply it, just give them some few seconds. Your money is gone because they are already on the system. So we are doing a lot on that. We have got quite a number of suspects arrested, all those online cyber crime suspects, you know. But the most important thing is people taking a personal step towards securing their vital information.
All right, so that was the police spokesperson, that is police public relations officer for Lagos State Police Command, that is Bala Elkanah, talking about the recommendations the police will give you, what you should do, and why people go into that. But if you ask me, really, it's simply because people are ignorant, and at times because of greed. Because in the first place, how would you receive a message from someone that you've won like a 4 million naira from a promo you never participated in, and you wanted to follow through simply because of that 4 million naira? Come on, I think it's a greed. If we put it at this perspective that it is a cyber war, I call it a war because it is coming from the offerings of technology. Some people are just taking negative advantage of technology, and if we are not so careful, we begin to blame modern technology as being totally bad. But there is a way we can prevent all of this. There is a way we can stop all of this. And it is the collective responsibility of you and I. So if we put it at this perspective, we also spoke to Confidence Tevley. She's one of the ethical hackers that we have in Nigeria at the moment. And she spoke about what her experience is when it comes to reporting these cases to security agencies. And at a point, she felt that the security agencies should begin to do more in tackling all of these challenges. So let's just go to her straight away. I'll see you here, Techbridge on Lagos Television. Talking about issues around cybersecurity.
Okay.
So we realized that probably for some time now, people get SMSs telling them that their ATM has been blocked, they need to call a particular number.
We need to upgrade it.
Yes, you need to upgrade and
We need
things
to upgrade the BVN.
Oh, you get it. And I know you are doing a whole lot sensitizing people around that. But my question to you now is this, that beyond sensitization, do you think there is more we can do? For instance, I heard about 5 phone numbers that have sent such messages at different times. So do you think I could probably pick those phone numbers and probably give them to the security agents and follow up from that? Have you done anything around that line? What do you suggest happens? Just looking for a way to fix all of this and probably put a stop to it.
Honestly, I haven't had good experiences reporting this to the agencies that matter. And I'll tell you what my pinpoint is.
Okay.
We've had many cases of fraud where we've tried to help people get, and we have the BVN.
Yes.
Which means we have people's information already tied to accounts, which means that when fraud happens and people draw money into certain places, we can actually get information.
Yes.
So I think that we're always thinking that those monies are small, but 500 kids and average Nigerian is not small.
It's not.
And I've had many cases that I've had to deal with that we do not get any arrests actually done. Every day you go to these agencies over time and you get tired and like, you know what, let me use this money I'm using to chase people to get more money. The person drops the case. So we find that we have a lot of those, and I know that, for example, I can call the names of the agencies now, but I would rather not. And I think they should take the step, for example, the communications one, take the steps when numbers are reported to have committed, have tried to defraud people with it, like people that call. We have many of those numbers we've collected in our intelligence from our reports. We get a lot of people. We have some of those numbers, but they're not blocked. We need to be able to find a mechanism where first those numbers are blocked. The numbers the account numbers that get these payments into them are traced, and the people, are arrested because one of those very prevalent frauds we've also seen is when they steal your phone. When people steal your phone, they use the USSD codes to empty bank accounts. We've had those monies are transferred somewhere. They're very traceable within Nigeria, but I think that we're looking at it that chasing the big guns is what we can have
like
those big wins.
Millions and billions.
Yes, you can have
we
those
forget
big
the
wins.
hundreds and thousands.
Because those monies mean a lot to people.
Sure.
I was with the driver the other day and he was sharing his experience. He lost his phone on a Friday. By Monday, his account was empty.
Oh my.
Imagine, how that leaves him. So it might be 100,000 naira, but that's somebody's life savings, for example.
As little as 20K, it's something to someone.
You get what I mean? So we need to find mechanisms where, one, those numbers reported, they take drastic actions about them, and these agencies also work with not-for-profit or NGOs that actually drive sensitization, because we get a lot of reports, because we also those people that are reporting to us feel like the agencies that are supposed to get that reports are not doing anything about that information. Those people call you and say, I'm from your bank, give me your BVN, give me your this. You're divulging information because you think you're talking to your bank, but they're simply manipulating you with things like fear, I'm going to block your ATM card if you don't do this. Exactly. So, or let's say even like people are having our WhatsApp currently really hijacked. Yes, so that's a trend currently now. So what they do is simply say, okay, buy data for cheaper. So if data is 1.5 for, say, the telcos, there's 0.5 for 1,000, and give you a number to call. And then while you're on the phone to that person says, okay, give me a code on your phone. And what they've done is they've tried to move your WhatsApp to their device. The code that comes up on your phone is a verification code. If you call that code out to that person, the person hijacks your WhatsApp. So you see, that is still manipulation, because in your head, you're thinking, I want to buy data. It's cheaper. Oh my God. Saving 500 naira. And then, at the end of the day, you find that person is communicating with your customers or communicating with your friends and family in a way that looks like it's you, and maybe defrauding them. We've had many cases, or even your what's it called again? Your integrity is also in the mud. So there are many things you need to think about, but I need us all to just be thinking about how proactive we can be about making sure that we are safe.
So that was Confidence Tavely talking about her own take and probably some of the issues that are around all this as well. And you remember she also mentioned the fact that this WhatsApp hacking is the in thing now. And if we have to go by the recommendation she gave, it is also important that when you don't get greedy about data, when they send those offers to you, buy 1 gig for 200 naira or for whatever so cheap amount of money, you don't follow through. And secondly, don't click any website. Don't click any URL from your WhatsApp page. It is a very good way of the bad guys getting across to you, hacking your WhatsApp. These are issues around cyber crime, cyber security, cyber war, and you agree with me that there is something you and I can do to stop all of this, taking the right steps, reporting to the right agencies, and eventually taking responsibility of all the data that you share or those ones that you give. So that is our show today. Many thanks for joining us. Remember that this show is live on Facebook. That is at Lagos Television. And you can follow this program as well on Facebook. That is Techbridge LTV. So also remember that on YouTube, we are Techbridge LTV as well. That means you can subscribe to that YouTube channel so that you can have updates about new prompts that we have on that same channel. Thanks for staying with us on today's episode. Remember that with technology, there are no limits. You can achieve more, you can do things faster, and innovation is just at your fingertips. I'll connect with you in the next episode. Bye for now.